Why did the FBI give Mr. Strzok $1.2 million and Ms. Page $800,000?
has done since I got there. 8,276 federal arrests to 820 kilograms seized of fentanyl. That's enough to kill 250,000 people. Over 3,000 firearms seized, 350 gang cases, 3,000 cases against violent
Well, that's not my question. We know that you...
Well, you asked if I was weaponizing the FBI, and I am not. I'm giving you the hard, concrete examples of the men and women putting handcuffs on bad people, doing harm to our children and innocent Americans.
Have placed on leave FBI employees responsible for the investigation of January 6th. That sounds political to me.
I have not placed anyone on leave who has not violated their ethical obligation or their oath to the Constitution.
So if they were investigating January 6th, you believe they were violating an ethical obligation?
Nope. I think the common theme here is you putting words in my mouth, and I'm not going to tolerate it, nor will the men and women of the FBI.
Yeah. So there he goes. This was a pretty crazy hearing. I'm not sure how this video dissects it, but yeah, I mean, he's doing what he said he was going to do, right? He's doing what we all want him to do. Maybe he's not doing it as timely manner as most people want. And, you know, like if you're not familiar with the way law enforcement works, I mean, you got to understand, this guy's been, first of all, yes, Trump's been in office for 3 months. Okay, he got confirmed maybe a month into it. So he's been the head of the FBI for about 2 months. You're not going to start seeing perp walks 2 months into an administration, like massive perp walk. It's just not a thing, right? You got to prioritize things. You got to start tackling what's going to be the biggest bang for your buck, right? You tackling illegal criminals, like really, really bad guys that are currently still doing bad things. That's where you want to have a good target and focus in on, even though it may not be, you know, the politically the best story with a lot of appeal to the MAGA base, right? They want Epstein and they want Pizzagate and they all these things they want to invest. Okay, we can do all that stuff. That's fine, maybe. You know, but in the very beginning, let's go after people that are currently still doing bad things, and target them first. That's the priority. If somebody's still being harmed right now, or harmful things are still going on, then we need to act up on that immediately. And I think that's essentially what he's doing.
You know, the FBI does really crucial work to keep our nation safe, whether it's stopping criminal organizations or domestic terrorists, protects our nation's secrets, it prevents cyber attacks, keeps our children safe from harm, and a lot more. So this is really sober work with extremely high stakes. And I'm concerned that instead of focusing on the incredibly important mandate to keep Americans safe and to help impartially enforce our laws under your leadership, Director Patel, the FBI has been weaponized to go after Americans who disagree with the president. FBI resources have been diverted away from combating terrorism to focusing on immigration requests. And all of this.
So, I mean, that can be hand in hand, right? So you're diverting resources away from terrorism, fighting terrorism. Okay. Yeah, is there a problem in this country, you know, with terrorism and yes, but guess what can also link into that? Immigration. How do you think they got here? How do you think a lot of them got here? Are there homegrown terrorists? Absolutely. Do you think that there's a good chance that a lot of terrorists came across that border as a result of the poor immigration policies that have been implemented for the past 4 years? Probably a pretty good chance, pretty good shot. I'm willing to, if I'm a betting man, remember that guy that came across the border, this was months and months ago, maybe a year ago, and he looked into the camera and he says, you will know who I am. You will find out one day who I am. I mean, he didn't look like he was from Mexico, that guy. So, there's a good chance that the terrorist thing and the immigration thing tie together. So for her to say that you're taking funding out of terrorism or you know, all this stuff is, you know, it's talking points. It's a good thing to say, oh, he took money away from terrorism to fight immigration. Okay, I mean, when was the last terrorist attack in recent memory that you can come about? The majority of people, obviously, we all remember 9/11. We all remember, we all remember the biggies. Are there small ones that go on quite frequently? Yeah. But is it something that is as large as the amount of people that have been killed by illegal immigrants? Probably not. Probably not even close. So what's the bigger problem?
The diverted missions, the fewer resources, fewer agents, heightened politicization is happening now under your watch, and it is, I believe, making Americans less safe. Now, let me just start with the budget. As Ranking Member Van Hollen noted earlier, this hearing is being held without the FBI's fiscal year 2025 spend plan and a full budget request for fiscal year 2026. The spend plan is required by law. It was due to Congress over a week ago. We have not yet seen it. That is really absurd. The FBI is our nation's leading law enforcement agency, a budget of $10.7 billion. It is critical that we understand how you are spending taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, so it's a $10 billion budget, and the guy's been there for like 6 weeks, maybe 2 months. Maybe cut him a little slack on that. You think? I mean, you would want to, because if he gave you the budget and then things in the budget were misappropriated or not done correctly, then you would hammer him on that. So it's a double-edged sword. Either he gets it to you right away, and there's some things in there that he wants allocated in a different way, and you come at him on that, or he takes his time with it, he does it properly, and then you still hammer him on it.
So Director Patel, when should we expect this FY25 spend plan for the FBI? Have you seen it? Have you reviewed it? When will we get it?
I'll get you an answer, ma'am. I don't have a timeline on that.
It was due last week by law.
I understand.
And your answer is you just understand. You're not going to follow the law?
My answer is that I am following the law, and I'm working with my interagency partners to do this and get you the budget that you are required to have.
And you have no timeline?
No.
Well, we also need a full budget request, not a single paragraph full of wild talking points that we saw with the skinny budget proposal. We're now having a budget hearing without a budget request. So, Director Patel, where is the FY 2026 budget request for the FBI?
It's being worked on, ma'am.
Have you reviewed it? Have you approved it?
Not yet.
When will we get it?
As soon as I can get it from my interagency partners and get it approved.
6 months from now?
I don't know, ma'am. I'm not
Well,
going to
how
make
do
up a timeline.
we, as Congress, do our budget and our work without that request and without the spend plan?
Well, ma'am, I'm here. I'm
don't
doing the
care.
best I can. I can't make up answers. I'm going to commit to you to work on getting you the information you need.
That is insufficient and deeply disturbing. No response?
I've given my response.
Well, the FBI is already down 1,900 employees since 2023.
like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? He doesn't have it. What are you going to do? You're going to put him in jail? Like, it's funny.
It's a direct result of the Fiscal Responsibility Act. And under the Trump administration, FBI agents, analysts, linguists, cyber experts, and scientists are being asked to do a lot more in order to keep us safe. Director Patel, we all know that budget cuts will reduce the FBI's ability to counter threats of terrorism, and it will hinder its ability to keep pace with firearm background checks and shutter operations that combat violent crime, drugs, gang.
There's a common theme in a lot of the videos that I've been putting out as of late, which is the Democrats are railing against budget cuts. Right? They don't like them. They're very upset by them. But that's why we elected them. Right? We want budget cuts. We want accountability. We want a more streamlined process, saving money, taking that money and giving it either back to the people, lowering our deficit, lowering our debt, and getting our financial house in order. This is what was voted for, right? And you can keep saying that budget cuts is going to hinder XYZ or this and that. Listen, these agencies are monstrosities, right? 2.2 million federal employees that we have in our federal government. It is the largest employer in the world. I say it all the time because it's true. It's important for people to know. The largest employer in the world is the federal government, and it has over 2.2 million employees. I don't think we need that many. I'm pretty sure we don't. I'm pretty sure that if we took 25% of those employees, took them away, none of us would notice a damn of a difference. And those people can go back and go into the private sector and do things that people actually want to be done. So this notion of being so upset and saying that the FBI isn't going to be able to combat and do these things when these budget cuts take into effect is a total crock. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense, right? I've worked for large agencies. I understand how they work. They're bloated. There are people that they're hiding their friends and there are all these people that are getting these nice salaries and for literally doing nothing. Right, that's how it works, and if that's how it works in the agencies that I've been a part of, that have been, not even a point percentage size that the federal government is, I can't even imagine what's going on en masse in the federal bureaucracy, what people are getting paid for doing what, right? And that's why when it comes to the Doge things and them just sending out an email saying, "Hey, what'd you do this week?" How, like, I don't get how that's, a big deal. What did you do? It's a good question.
And transnational organized crime. Now, I understand that you told our House colleagues yesterday that you don't want to reduce the FBI workforce, meaning that you disagree with what President Trump is proposing?
No, I agree that we can sustain the mission with the proposed budget, and I agree with the budget. And as I said yesterday, I believe that what I said was I can do more with more. And I gave examples of what more we could do if we were given more.
Well, it's different than what you told the House yesterday. So what are you communicating to the President and the White House about what you need? And again, we don't have a budget request from you, so I'm not sure what you're asking us for.
I'm not asking you for anything at this time.
You can operate without a budget?
I never said that.
Well, this is unprecedented. Okay, well, let me just go to another topic since you're not going to answer that. The FBI partners with state, local, and tribal law enforcement organizations. They provide critical intelligence and operational capabilities to combat violent crime and gangs and terrorist threats, fentanyl trafficking, challenges that our local communities really can't face alone. I'm going to give you an example. A few years ago, the Southeast Washington Safe Streets FBI Task Force worked with our Benton County and Franklin County Sheriff's Office, multiple Tri-Cities Police Departments, and the State Corrections Department to carry out one of the largest ever drug seizures in the region's history. Now we've got an administration already cutting more than $800 million in assistance in 2025 to local law enforcement organizations while proposing a $500 million cut for the FBI. Director Patel, can you explain to this committee how cutting resources for our local law enforcement partner agencies the FBI relies on to help your bureau keep safe? How do you expect the FBI and local law enforcement to do more without those significant resources they need?
The FBI will continue to do what it does, which is work with embedded state and local law enforcement officers in our Joint Terrorism Task Force, in our Safe Streets Task Force, in our gang task forces. Those are a priority. Those billets have been maintained. Those billets have not been reduced. And with my reorientation, reprogramming that we've notified Congress to, you will see an augmentation in the field in every single state in this country.
Well, again, we need to see the numbers and we need to see that.
Yeah, you don't have them. So who cares? I mean, it's just, this is all grandstanding. It's all clickbait. It's all, it's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. It's a waste of time. It's a total waste of time. It's upsetting that he has to sit there and go over this when, that's all it's for. It's for her to get, some clicks and some likes and some shares and some, maybe funding off of it. But it's totally aggravating. Yeah. Guys, if you can subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate it. If you drop something in the comments, I will respond to it. If you want to get into a discussion, go back and forth, I rather enjoy that. But if you can, give me a like, give me a share, give me a subscribe, and we will see you again on the next video. Thanks a lot for coming out.